Come in. You alright? My name's Mr. Fitzpatrick. Nice to meet you. How are you? Good. So, let's just have a look at that CV before we get things kicked off and look at this interview. So I understand that you're applying for a coaching job, is that correct? Yeah. And that will be in the swimming side of aspects of the sport. It's interesting. What is it about swimming that you enjoy so much, firstly?
Well, I've been doing it since I was about 10.
Yep.
I started off just in a little club and decided to go on with it into competitive swimming. And got scouted for clubs in Leicestershire and on tire things. I've just always enjoyed it.
And swimming takes a lot of commitment, as I understand it. You know, getting up in these early mornings, going for a swim, going after work, after school. What is it that keeps you going with the swimming?
I suppose it is hard, like morning training, evening training. There's definitely a lot of commitment, but at the end of the day, that successful moment you have after your races,
Yeah.
I suppose it all makes up for it.
Just drives you to carry on. That's interesting, that. Well, it's a very impressive CV, to be honest with you. You know, I can see you did quite well in your exams, and there's a few different things which you've achieved, a lot of experience in the workplace, and yeah, that's quite interesting. That. What I'm going to do now is just ask you a few questions which I've got, which we ask in every interview. You know, we can be quite fluid with the questions, we can vary a little bit, and I'm not going to put you on the spot. So firstly, just a simple question is, why do you want this job?
Well, since I've started swimming, I've always looked up to the coaches that I've had, and they've always shown me how to do a sport professionally and be respectful, and I guess it's always something I've looked up to, and I've always wanted to take my experience I've got and help other people with it.
Yeah, so you mentioned previously that you started swimming at the age of 10. What age group is it that you're looking to work with in this coaching job?
Well, so far I've worked with ages from 7 to 9.
Is that the sort of age you want to stay with, or do you want to sort of move up to the teenagers?
I don't mind working with that age, but definitely I can see myself striving for more qualified swimmers to improve their abilities.
Interesting. What would you consider to be your greatest professional strengths?
I'd definitely say my work ethic, as I'd always be on the ball and asking for more work to do to improve anything that needs to be done. Communication's always there, obviously for my swimmers, that's always good to have that.
That's fine. What would you consider to be your weaknesses within the workplace, if of course you have any?
Obviously, there's not going to be a perfect coach, so there's going to be something that's wrong with them. But I'd probably say my discipline, because I have had experiences before where I wouldn't want to necessarily tell off a athlete or tell them what to do or tell them they're doing stuff wrong.
Yeah.
And obviously, in some points, you do need to do that. You have to have that.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, because of course you have to develop a relationship where they can feel comfortable with you coaching them, but you don't want to sort of be bullying them into things. So, have you ever had a conflict or a challenge that you faced at work? And if you have, then could you just tell me how you dealt with the situation and what you did to overcome it?
I think so far in my work experience, I'm with year 3-4 children, teaching them how to swim. And I've got a range of swimmers who can just about make a length, and swimmers who can just about take their feet off the floor. So there's a different variety of, say, attitude towards swimming. And quite a lot of time, the swimmers will be messing around, going into the water. I think that's definitely a challenge to get them to concentrate, and obviously the health and safety. It's not, you don't want that responsibility. So I suppose what I would have done in that situation, or what I have done, is just sit them out on the side, tell them what they've done wrong, how they need to improve it, and tell them to they need to sit out for a bit, calm their attitude, and tell them when they're ready to get back in.
Yeah, that's quite a nice way of dealing with things, actually. You know, sort of letting the kids approach it how they feel necessary, and when they feel ready to come back, they can come and work with you again. And obviously, I'm sure if they carry on, you've dealt with it and say, that's it, now off you go. Yeah. Leadership is quite an important skill in coaching. Can you give me an occasion where you've exercised your leadership skills?
Yeah, well, obviously from swimming since 10, I've had club competitions as a group and squads. Swimming is an individual sport, but there is events that you go to, like Arena League, where you've got a team and you've got team captains.
Yeah.
And I've been part of that, been captains of teams, leaders of teams. I think that all sort of contributes into it. And obviously with GCSEs is always that, showing leadership in the classroom and leading the team in sports, all different sports really.
It's interesting. Obviously, I see by CV you do have quite a lot of different achievements. It says here the top 10 British rankings, which is quite a big thing. 9 times a week in the pool as well. That's a lot of commitment. But what would you say is your greatest achievement in your time as a swimmer?
This question can be quite difficult because obviously throughout your career you've had a lot of good moments through racing.
Yeah.
So I've had Scottish championships which I've came out with titles from, which has been an achievement, but I suppose my most recent achievement, which will be the furthest I've been in swimming and the highest level I've been, will be British Championship trials. So that's for Wales, which is coming up soon, and I've made 2 times for that. So that obviously goes into all the experience I would have for becoming a coach.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic if you get to that. Fingers crossed. Could you possibly tell me how your co-workers and your boss from the work experience which you've taken part in would describe you as a worker and as a person as well?
Yeah, definitely. Well, obviously I've had work experience before, I'm still in work experience at a primary school, and I've had emails from them telling me that obviously they're happy to have me, and I've been pulled aside saying that they're happy to have me because of my work ethic and how I deal with people. I'm always on the ball, been told, and that's it really. I started off with 1 day work experience as I only wanted a student for 1 day a week, but now I'm currently doing 2 days because I showed that I wanted to be there for a reason, I wanted to do a job. They said that they were happy to have me for 2 days.
Yeah,
that shows good.
Yeah, I think that's quite a nice thing, being recognised for your commitment towards the job. What interests you in a career in this coaching industry apart from swimming?
Well, I suppose the whole thing of coaching is helping younger amateur swimmers develop. And that's a big thing for me, knowing that I've been through what they've been through, what they're going through, is a big thing for me to help them and achieve their potential that they can achieve. So that's what's interested me in being a coach and having coaches that have helped me. I feel like that's something I want to do.
Yeah.
And be good at doing.
Finally, before I open the floor to any questions from yourself. You're now 17 years old. 16. Soon to be 17. What do you expect to be doing in 5 or 6 years' time?
Well, obviously, after the course I'm currently on now, I'm striving to go to university, which may or may not be a 4-year course.
Yeah. And what is it at university you're looking? Is there a set course you've decided on, or are you still looking?
There's different pathways that I would go to, like staying on sports science.
Yeah.
But obviously having that coach element, so there's always sports coaching or nutrition that I can go along with.
Yeah, like you say, there's a lot of different things which you can do. So
yeah, definitely. And keeping swimming as well with most of the universities.
Yeah. honestly, I just want to say thanks for your time, and if you've got any questions to ask me, then I'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah. So, first coaching job, how much do you see me improving in my abilities for finding experience and getting my knowledge for coaching up?
Well,
How does it improve?
here at the A-Story, we've actually got 3 elite coaches who've been doing the job for a very long time, that work with the people coaches to help them develop. And I feel that you can really increase those skills by working with those coaches, and you can develop as a coach and as a person, and eventually become one of the elite coaches yourself, which does lead to a bigger pay and the ability to help out the younger ones. So it's like a cycle, you know, as you get older, the new ones come in and you help them through it, and it's a never rotating cycle that's been going on here for a good 15, 20 years now.
Yeah, it sounds like a good program.
Yeah.
So, as a coach, will I be able to make my way up the program, or would you usually have set coaches for head coach, assistant?
There are ways in which you can advance. We do actually have, obviously, a head coach here, which is myself, and it's about me looking at the different coaches, what they've achieved so far, what they're striving to achieve, whether I think they deserve maybe a bit of a leg up towards the higher stages of the programme